So this meditation is called Leaves on a Stream, and it's from therapistaid.com. And I'll put a link in the information if you want to check it out. But essentially, it's super easy, and it's something that I've been doing with people as a way of slowing down the racing mind. So the idea is that as you focus, when we focus down on isolating or identifying individual thoughts, it actually forces the rest of the mind to relax. And it seems quite counterintuitive because you kind of think, well, if my mind is racing, I want to distract or I want to do everything I can not to think. So the idea of turning around to face the onslaught of thoughts feels like, oh, why would I want to do that? But honestly, well, you can try it for yourself and see whether or not it works for you. But this idea of just, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of guided meditation. There's always a relaxation at the beginning. We're going to pull in the Reiki. We're just going to start doing a very lovely self-healing. And then as we do that, we just allow the mind. So we allow the mind to use imagination, which is always very relaxing anyway. So we use the mind to create a peaceful scene. Now, when I say it's always relaxing, obviously, if you use the mind to create a horror scene in your mind, that's not going to be very relaxing. So we were talking a little bit earlier about how you direct the kind of experiences you want. So rather than always referring back to trauma, what about referring back to a peak experience instead? And so this is how we can really use our imagination and our ability to pull up past events to really recreate the same feelings that we are experiencing now. Because the body doesn't really relate time. In a sense, it's experiencing what it's experiencing now, but then when you put a certain image into the mind, it experiences that as well, as we all know. So we could be sitting in our lounge, perfectly safe, and then we can recall a trauma where we weren't safe, and the body goes into a very unsafe feeling. So the body responds to the prompts of the mind. So this is a way of just using the imagination to create a very peaceful stream. So I'm going to ask you to go into an imagery whereby you're just sitting by a nice, calm, bubbling brook or a stream or somewhere with some trees and things like that. Just maybe a place you've been to before, maybe you've just made it up. And then we're just going to sit quietly and notice thoughts. Now, obviously, when we go into meditations, we can become aware that there's a lot of thoughts going on. If you're in quite a peaceful mood, you might just notice one or two thoughts coming up. But if you're noticing a lot, we're going to isolate one. And then we're going to imagine we're just writing it down on the leaf. And even that, you're slowing everything down in order to be able to imagine you're writing it on a leaf. And then we're just going to pop it on a stream and just let it meander down into wherever. It's just going off, doing whatever it's doing. And then we just keep doing that. We keep doing that. And if there's no thoughts, then you're just sitting very quietly, but just noticing the impact of turning to face the thoughts actually diminishes the thinking, which is kind of weird. But when you notice that, then it's a really powerful technique to use, particularly when you're feeling overwrought or you're in those thought spirals, where it's just going round and round and round in circles and you've got one thing building another and the whole thing just feels very large and a lot of thinking. So it's just a way of calming everything down into one at a time. And then when that happens, then you start to notice, oh, these thoughts actually don't define me and they don't actually have any energy because I can pop it on a leaf and I can just let it float away. So they're not real and they don't hold real power. I think that's a really important thing for us to realize about our thinking. It can feel really big and scary, but when we really look at it, it's just a thought. And thoughts aren't things. They don't necessarily create things either unless we put a lot of power behind it. So with that in mind, just settling in and just starting to come into Garsho. So when I say Garsho, it's hands together and you're just placing it relaxed against your sternum, your heart center. And we'll start off with that. So just bringing hands into Garsho into prayer pose, and just making sure that you're comfortable in your chair as well. Just allowing the chair to hold you, feet on the ground, or if they're cross-legged, just in a relaxed posture. We start off just breathing, noticing with the exhale, a relaxation all the way down through the system. And just checking in with your state of mind and your body today. Often when we first start settling in, you can just notice there's a bit of agitation, perhaps. There's busyness. It just takes us a while sometimes to settle into the chair and what we're doing. So you're connecting also with your feet on the floor, just feeling the pressure of the floor. And then we're going to open the 1,000-petaled lotus right at the top of our crown, the top of our head. Just imagining it's opening up to receive the Reiki attunement. And that attunement, as you breathe in, just flows all the way down through the top of your head into the center of the chest, the heart center, the lungs, if you're breathing it in. And then just very gently allowing it to diffuse all the way through the body. And you can use the breath, so you can inhale the Reiki attunement and then exhale it out through all the cells, down the arms, into the hands, into the fingers. You might notice as you do this that your fingers and your hands start to tingle, start becoming aware of an energy, a sensation. Or you might notice it in different parts of the body. You might notice a pulsing or just a difference in temperature, increase or decrease. Some people notice colors. And sometimes people just notice a sense of relaxation, of harmony or calmness that enters the body. It doesn't matter what you're experiencing. But just gently in your own time, bringing your hands down anywhere on your body that feels comfortable, but have them palm down so that you're allowing that Reiki to go through your hands into an area of your body, whether it's into your thighs, into your torso, your belly. And I'm going to take a moment just to notice how the hands feel. And wherever your hands are touching your body, how that's impacting it. And every breath, you're just allowing the body to relax a little bit more. And very gently scanning the body, making sure that the face, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw are relaxed. And with your next exhale, relaxing all the way down through the shoulders, the arms, elbows, hands, fingers. Noticing the breath in the chest, seeing if you can bring it down all the way into the belly. And as you breathe into the belly, as you exhale, just relaxing all the muscles around the abdomen. Releasing and relaxing all the way down the back, into the buttocks, just noticing the pressure of the chair, how it supports you. And then all the way down the thighs, into the knees, the calves, ankles, feet, toes. And if it resonates, you could breathe in the earth energy through your feet as a grounding exercise. And you do this simply by imagining that there's energy coming up through the feet from the earth itself. So that you feel connected and grounded to Mother Earth. Your crown is nice and open. The lower half of your body is nice and grounded. And even this simple relaxation exercise might bring a deeper sense of harmony and peace. And you're just inviting the Reiki to continue its healing all the way through the body, whatever is needed. The universal life force is helping you to balance, to rejuvenate, filling you up. And as this happens, you allow your mind to imagine a lovely stream, maybe a place you've been before, maybe a favorite spot to go, or just maybe made up in your mind, noticing there's some shade and there's trees. The water is very clear, and you can watch it bubbling over stones and rocks. You can hear the water as it does this. You can hear the birds, the leaves gently rustling, a cool breeze. There's a warmth from the sun. And it's a place where you feel calm and connected, and finding a place to sit, watching the water. You're just very gently turning inwards and noticing any thoughts, and no matter how big or small, isolating just one, and then taking a leaf and writing that thought down, whatever it is. Very gently dropping the leaf into the stream and just watching it with that thought floating away. And then as you sit there, you might notice another thought. You isolate that one. Writing it on a leaf. And popping it onto the stream. And just watching it bobbing away. And just notice whatever the thought is, however heavy or light, positive or negative, it holds the same weight on the water, just floating down the stream. It's easy to let go of. There's no real difference whether it's a big, heavy, or a light, gentle thought. You might notice another one. And you just repeat the process. Just being mindful when the mind wants to make a big deal or drama or add other thoughts. Just staying focused on one at a time. And letting all the other thoughts just fade into the background. And you might notice as you do this, the thoughts do become quieter. The more you turn and face them and isolate one at a time and write it down on your leaf and send it away. And if there are no thoughts you can grab individually, you're just enjoying the stream, the peace. Noticing the breath, making sure the body remains relaxed. And for some people, this brings on a very tired feeling, like you can almost fall asleep. So this might be something really lovely to do at night in bed. But staying mindful with the body. If there are any points of tension, just very gently breathing into that as well. And just imagining that this stream, the sunlight, the deep relaxation of the environment, you can bring all these qualities into your body, into your experience as you sit here. Helping to energize your Reiki. And paying attention still to the thinking mind. If you've drifted off into the thoughts, just very gently isolating one and going through that process of writing it on a leaf. Just noticing how this activity slows everything down. And you might also notice that addictive quality of the thinking that wants you to let go and stop disciplining, stop slowing it down. It wants to go and play and be mischievous. And very gently just letting go of that imagined stream, starting to notice your own body. And the breath. pressure of the floor, the pressure of the chair. And just seeing that even here, without the imagination, you can still do the same thing with the mind. Just noticing, isolating one thought at a time. How it slows everything down. And very gently, you're just going to start squeezing your fingers, squeezing your toes. Giving yourself a little stretch. Bringing your arms above your head if that resonates. And giving yourself a little wiggle all the way down the spine. Whenever you're ready, gently opening your eyes. And just noticing your state of being now.